I'll tell you when my breakthrough moment was. If you want to hear it, you really want to hear it, I will tell you. My breakthrough moment came almost 4 years ago. I was down in this basement. We had our bedroom down here at the time. And Kenny was over across from me. He was on the floor and he was praying. And I was sitting in the bed and I felt so hard and I felt so cold. And I've been trying to pray. I was even trying to memorize Bible verses as if that was going to help my state. And I sat there and I said, Kenny, I don't think I want God. And I was afraid to say it. I was afraid to admit that, how cold I was, that I didn't even have a heart towards God at all. I didn't even want him. And I was afraid that if I admitted that I would be cursed forever, without even a shred of hope or a possibility. I thought it would seal my fate if I made that proclamation, if I spoke the truth. But when I sat there and I said, Kenny, I don't think I even want God, it broke me. And the tears just began to flow. And God started to melt my heart in that moment. And his presence came in the room. And I felt him just draw close to me and just start to melt my heart before him and draw me. For it is God that worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. But you've got to be honest with how you feel. Stop faking it. You've got to be truthful. And I know that just doesn't even make sense, but I'm telling you, that's how it happened. When I told him I didn't even want him, I had no heart towards him at all. I didn't even desire him. I mean, what an awful statement, but it was the truth. And that was truly my breakthrough. It really was.
Hey, you got some people on here, Tess, I think need to hear about your situation where you told him to get away from you.
Oh, okay.
Listen up, Chris.
Yeah, this was years ago. Was it in the 90s, Kenny? Yeah, I was saved and I was born again in 1990 or 1986. 1986. Just a glorious, wonderful born again experience from light to darkness, complete radical change. And I had ended up a few years later, um, starting to turn from him, and I backslid and I grew very cold. But during that cold time, uh, in my 20s and around 30 and early 30s, I felt I felt him drawing near to me, and I was so bitter and cold at the time. Went through a very traumatic time in my late 20s, and the real clincher was when I lost my brother, um, when he was killed, and I was with him when he passed, and I had prayed for him to be healed, and he wasn't. He passed away right in front of me, and I got so hard towards God. I hated him. I did. We lived on a farm at the time, big farm, and I was outside one day with the kids, and I just felt the presence of God around me, and he was trying to draw near to me. And I was so mad and angry, and I just looked up to the sky and I shook my fist and I said, you get the F away from me. I don't want you. I hate you. I screamed at him, and There was at least one other time, if not a total of three, where I did that, where I just screamed at him in that manner. Like, have any of you ever done that? And the fact that he would still want me back, that he would still love me in that state. I was telling Kenny just a day or two ago, I said, really, if God would have shot a laser of fire down upon me and destroyed me and wiped me out of existence, he would have been fully justified. I was hateful, I was mean, I was hard, I was arrogant, I despised him, full of all kinds of sin and filthiness of the flesh. I was wicked and hard and mean, self-centered, and all I cared about was trying to satisfy myself. And the more I tried to satisfy myself, the less satisfied and unhappy and crazy I was. That his amazing love. And you can't experience that amazing love until you believe him, until you believe what he says about who he is. He that comes to God must believe that he is God, that he is all that he says that he is, that he is forgiving, that his mercies are new every morning, that he is long suffering. He gave his all for you. And what does he require back? What does he require? There's no good thing in you. Nothing. You've got to come to him and your dirty, filthy rags. You're cussing and you're drinking and you're smoking and you're running around and you're carousing and you're drunkenness. All of those things. You're lying and you're cheating and you're thieving and your dirty, prideful heart. You come to him that way. That's how he wants you. Don't try to pray the prayer of the publican. It's garbage to him. It's filthy rags. You come to him as you are. That's the only way you can. You can't clean yourself up. You need him. You need another. That's the only door that's open to you. There is no other door. He that comes to God must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of those that diligently seek after him. And if you don't believe that, and if you say he's not that way, if you say that he doesn't want you as you are, you're putting the blame on him. And he's nowhere about you. It's like I was explaining a couple days ago to a friend of mine. I said, how would you feel as a fully devoted wife? You love your husband with all your heart. You're fully devoted to him in all ways. And he would come to you every day and accuse you of not being that way. He would accuse you of being a liar, a cheat, an adulterer. And day after day, he would say that to you over and over and over and over again. How would that make you feel? Would that not grieve your heart? Well, how do you think that makes the heart of the Father feel? You're accusing him of being unjust. You're accusing him of not loving you purely. You're accusing him of not being who he says he is. I tell you, it makes him angry. That is what makes him angry. You've got to repent of that. You've got to see him as he is. You've got to repent of the false accusations against a holy, righteous, and pure God. You need to repent of it. And you need to come to him as you are. That's the only way you're going to find him. You've got to believe him and stop accusing God. And some people, I know there's some people that come into this chat, other people that watch this, they're out to look for attention. They're out for pity. You have that group too. Feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for me. Well, look what I did back here, and this isn't right, and that isn't right. Stop looking for pity. God will not give you pity. You did those things because you are evil and you are wicked, and there were repercussions to what you did. Suck it up. Accept it. Admit it. Confess it. Get it all out. Turn from it. Let God cleanse you and wash you and move forward. Stop staying in that same old rut. It's time to get out of the rut. You're going nowhere. It's time to make some progress with God. Stop complaining. God doesn't want to hear that over and over again. Another example. If I hit somebody's car and I dent the door, I put a big scratch in it, and I make restitution. I say, I'm sorry. I admit what I did. And they said, okay, I forgive you for what you did. We'll get this taken care of. And the next day I come to them. Oh, I'm so sorry that I did this to your car. Will you please forgive me? Yes, I forgive you. And day after day, you keep coming to that same person about the same thing, saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. They're going to get real tired of hearing it. God gets tired of hearing it too. Repent of what you've done, forsake it, turn from it, and folks, you got to move on. Quit whining about it. I hear so many people just whining about it. Enough of that.